California Dream for All is back with new funds allocated for buyers in 2026. Remember that this is a down payment assistance loan that may offer you up to 20% of the purchase price to help you cover your down payment, potentially also your closing costs, and you could permanently buy down the interest rate. Sound too good to be true? Well, we're going to talk about it in depth today, especially the shared appreciation portion, because that's unique to this loan. We'll also talk about eligibility, registration, which begins February 24th. So we've got a lot to cover. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. If you're interested in Dream for All, this video is for you. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Erika Monroe. I'm a realtor in the Bay Area, and I specialize in helping buyers and sellers accomplish their real estate goals in and around Solano County. So California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan, that's the full name. It's a mouthful, but for good reason, because it's a relatively complex loan. I'm going to break it out into two components. The first is that this is a down payment assistance loan. If you are eligible, and by the way, this is somewhat of a lottery system. You have to meet all the requirements, you have to get pre-approved, and then you're entered into a lottery system. If you are selected, you may receive up to 20% of the purchase price or up to $150,000, whichever is less, to help cover your down payment, possibly all of your closing costs, and as mentioned, you could potentially permanently buy down your interest rate. Now, this is considered a silent second loan, meaning that you don't have to make additional monthly payments and it's not accruing interest. So that is one of the coolest components of this down payment assistance. Now, the second component is unique to Dream for All, and it requires you to share a portion of your appreciation between 15 and 20% of the appreciation you've accrued in your home while in this program when there is a triggering event. A triggering event would be when you sell your house. If you refinance more than one time, you are given one opportunity to refinance your interest rate. If you transfer title of your home, so if you transfer ownership to your children, maybe you put title into a trust, that would be considered a triggering event. At that time, you would not only have to pay back the down payment in full, you would also have to pay back between 15 and 20% of the accrued appreciation in your home. I'm going to give you some real examples shortly, just so you have a better understanding. I want to first go over eligibility because there are some very strict and specific requirements for this program. If you don't qualify, there's certainly so many other down payment assistance programs as well as grants. Feel free to reach out to me if you need some additional options. Now, eligibility. All borrowers have to be considered first-time home buyers, but spoiler alert, that doesn't mean you can't have owned property in the past. The CalHFA definition of a first-time home buyer is a home buyer who has not owned property or lived in property owned by their spouse within the last 3 years. So if you owned property 5 years ago, you sold it, you've been renting ever since, then you should be considered a first-time home buyer. Or of course, anybody who's never bought a home. By all definitions, you would be considered a first-time home buyer. Next, at least one of the borrowers must fit the definition of a first-generation home buyer. A first-generation home buyer is defined by a buyer who has not owned property or lived in property owned by their spouse within the last 7 years. In addition to that, one of the borrower's parents cannot own property in the U.S. at the time of your application. Or if deceased, they did not have any ownership interest in the U.S. at the time of their death. Only one of the buyers has to fit this definition, but that is a requirement of Dream for All. If you grew up in the foster system, you can still qualify as a first-generation home buyer. You simply would have to produce some sort of court documentation or foster care verification form. Definitely reach out to the lender to figure out exactly what would be needed to fulfill this requirement. Next, at least one of the borrowers has to be a California resident. All borrowers have to plan on living in this property as their primary residence, their main residence. It cannot be utilized as an income property. And lastly, you have to meet the CalHFA income limits. And that's based on each county. For Solano County, all borrowers' combined income cannot exceed $197,000 a year. Now, if you're pretty confident that you meet all of these requirements so far, the next step is to talk to and get pre-approved by a CalHFA approved lender. Now, you do need a pre-approval specific to this Dream for All program. You have to get pre-approved because you'll have to meet the conventional requirements for your main mortgage. Remember, everything we've discussed so far is basically to help assist with the down payment portion. You also have to qualify for the main mortgage, that monthly payment you're going to make until you refinance into a different type of loan or you sell your home. I know that getting a pre-approval can be intimidating, but every buyer in the US has to go through this process. I have some incredible resources, lenders that I work with often, especially for down payment assistance. They're responsive, they're kind, they're considerate, they're a wealth of knowledge. In addition to the pre-approval, you're also going to have to take a 1-hour online free course that gives you a better overview and definition of the Dream for All program. And with some luck, you will receive a voucher. You'd have 90 days to find a home and get into contract. In some scenarios, I've heard that people have been granted an extension, but I wouldn't necessarily count on that. 90 days is typically plenty of time to allocate a home that you'd like and get into contract. Let's talk through an example that's available on the CalHFA website. I think walking through it will help you understand what the diagram is trying to show. Now, let's say you buy a house for $500,000 and you got a voucher, so you get to apply 20% towards your down payment, which would be $100,000. That means that your first mortgage, which you make payments on every month, would be based on $400,000. Let's say you stay in the home for 5 years and home value appreciation has been pretty steady. At the end of 5 years, your house is now worth $640,000. That means your home value has appreciated $140,000. This is the component of appreciation that you would have to share with the program. So if you are a moderate income earner, if you earn 80% of the area median income or more, then you would have to pay back 20% of this appreciation. So 20% of $140,000 would be $28,000. The remaining appreciation the homeowner gets to keep, which would be $112,000, and that could be utilized to help you purchase your next home using that as a down payment. So this next portion of the diagram is trying to show you your total walkaway. So remember that over that 5-year time frame, you'll have paid off a portion of your mortgage because every month you're paying interest as well as principal, which is the actual loan amount. So over 5 years, CalHFA projects that you would have paid about $30,000 off of your mortgage. So instead of $400,000, you would only owe $370,000. That means you've gained $30,000 in equity that you paid off, and the Dream for All program is not going to come after that. They're only considering the appreciation accrued. So after subtracting the $128,000 that you owe Dream for All, remember the $100,000 down payment plus $28,000, that was the 20% appreciation, your total walkaway or profit margin is going to be $142,000, which you could utilize as a down payment and help you cover your closing costs for your next home purchase. However, if you are a low income earner, meaning you earn less than 80% of the area median income, you would only have to pay back 15% of the accrued appreciation. So 15% of $140,000 would be $21,000. You as a homeowner would get to keep $119,000. Now you still would have paid off the same amount of the loan, which was $30,000, right, over the course of 5 years. You get to add that to your $119,000, and that would mean that you would walk away with approximately $149,000 to apply towards your next home purchase or utilize however you'd like. If you have any additional questions, you'd like to work together, you'd like to connect with my trusted lenders, please feel free to reach out to me, and do so soon because registration begins February 24th and it ends March 16th. There's a lot that needs to be done. I'll be here to support you every step of the way. This could open the door for you to purchase your very first home. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.